Okay, so welcome again. My name is Jennifer Lansing, and I am the Family School Partnership Coordinator here and for the secondary grades. And we welcome you to Georgia Cyber Academy. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. We have a small group, and at the end, if you have any questions, we'll be able to help you out and answer any questions that you have. So, what I would like to do first, though, is if you're new to GCA, you may not be that familiar with Jigsaw. So, on the screen right now, what you see is in Jigsaw next to your name, there's a little settings button. If you click on it, you can actually control some of the settings in Jigsaw. For instance, the microphone, the webcam, notifications. If you click on the little notifications, sometimes you'll hear a lot of dinging in Jigsaw, and it might be too much of a distraction for you or for your student if they're in class. You can adjust those settings so that you don't hear the dinging every time somebody sends a message or um, if they put something in the chat. The other tools are the step away button. So if for some reason you or your student needs to use the restroom or step away, that would be the button you would use so that everyone knows that you had to leave the room for a minute. Okay, yes. So we are just talking about we are here for a new family welcome session. So we are going to be talking about GCA and giving some, important information about GCA. And so right now, I'm just talking about Jigsaw. And in Jigsaw, if you click on the little settings button by your name, it'll give you options so that you can control your settings in Jigsaw. And that's all. You can see it here on the screen on the presentation. So I am your Family School Partnership Coordinator, Jennifer Lansing, and you're going to be hearing from me throughout the year this year. And, the ways that we, as Family School Partnerships coordinators, serve you as families is we provide resources and communications to families, including families of English learner students, limited English proficient families as well. And we also provide school parent compacts and parent family engagement policies in family friendly language. We provide parent and student programs and meetings. So we'll have meetings most months. And we also have student volunteer opportunities and parent and student leadership opportunities. And so you will be hearing with emails and newsletters, and you'll be getting all the information for these meetings and for these opportunities as well. We do also have student leadership and service opportunities. And we're going to be talking about some of those as we get a little further into the presentation. Okay, well, I would like to invite your school principal, Dr. England Taylor, to join us now and talk about GCA's mission and vision. And so, welcome, Dr. England Taylor. Thank you so much for attending with us.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am so happy to know that you all are here. Excited to know that you have made GCA your school of choice, and we are very much looking forward to serving you. I'm not going to read the mission and vision for you. I'm going to give you a second to look at it yourself. I'm going to pause so you can read it yourself. And then I want to tell you what this mission and vision means to me. This mission and vision means that I am committed again to serving you and serving your family, and that we have lots of resources to support you in reaching your academic potential. We are going to push you and encourage you to do your very best and move in excellence at all times. But we are also going to make sure that you have all the support that you need to meet your individualized needs. So I'm really excited about that. And I want to talk about, I just mentioned that there were a lot of people available to support you. So, yes, I am your principal. However, you have 8 assistant principals at the secondary grade band. And as you can see, each assistant principal has a different role and responsibility. And these assistant principals support your teachers so that they can support you. You will have access to not only teachers and assistant principals, but we have counselors, you have your FEL. There are just lots of people to support you. So do not be afraid to ask questions, and let us know what support you need. In addition to staying on that same track and talking about supports, and this is my favorite bullet point, so I'm going to jump down to there. There is free tutoring for all of you in all subjects. If you find out you're struggling in a course and you want some extra help, do not hesitate to reach out to your FEL, or your content teacher can give you that information. You have a lunch period every day at home, and you have a whole hour for lunch. I know in the brick and mortar schools, maybe your lunch periods are 15, 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. But here you have a whole hour for lunch to do what you need to do. We have credit recovery available all year long, streamlined platforms. And Miss Lansing was just telling you about the Jigsaw platform. And this is important: all students are required to be on camera in live classes and district assessments, like your interim assessments, your MAP assessments. You must be on camera for those live sessions. And please, please, please make sure you go on the GCA website and you read the district handbook. You look at the academic calendars and look at our compact and family engagement policies, which will be updated by October 11th, 2022. And I'm going to turn it back over to Miss Lansing.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Okay. And what we'll, in a minute, we'll go over, I'll also show a sample schedule so you'll be able to see each of those. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about legal guardian or learning coach expectations. So as the learning coach or the legal guardian, you do have a little bit more of an involvement in your child's education here at Georgia Cyber Academy because of the fact that everything is online, so you're able to see your student in class. You're able to see your student while you see all of their assignments in the Canvas platform, so that that way you can have a better involvement. And so some of the expectations for you as a legal guardian or a learning coach would be to make sure to enter attendance daily in Nucleus. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Also, read your emails at least once a day. It's important. You're going to be getting in communications from GCA a lot of important communications via email. So it's important to check that and answer any communications or any requests from GCA. It's very important that you answer those. Also, keep the students' information up to date: address, phone numbers, everything. If anything changes, please let your FEL know so that those updates can be made. And then, as we talked about earlier, monitoring your students' assignment completion and grades every day. So your student is going to be expected to complete their assignments by the due date. And so it's important that you're monitoring that to make sure that your students are doing their assignments. Also, ensuring that your students are attending their live classes. That's very important. And using their camera, their whiteboard, their tools, and basically making sure that they are engaging in class, because yes, it's important that your student is in class, but it's also important that they are participating, to get the most out of their classes and to be able to learn and progress. Then they need to be participating with their teacher during all of their classes. So make sure that during testing, your student stays on camera. That's a requirement, and that they don't receive additional help. For instance, reading questions or answers to your student, that would be considered helping, and it definitely should not be done. So another important thing is to communicate with your students' teachers. If there's an issue, if you have a problem, or if you run into something that you really need assistance with, please let your students' teachers know, and that way they can support you with that issue. Also, the counselor, if it's an issue related to credits, and then and or scheduling, and then FEL. Your FEL is also a great support for you to ask any questions to. So it's another important note. This is at the very bottom in orange on the screen, is that students are required to attend live class sessions. And if they are required to be in a class and they are not, then they will be counted absent, whether or not attendance is input in, whether or not parents input that into Nucleus. It's still going to be an absence if you're not in the live class when you were required to be. Okay, now some student expectations. So for students, it's very important, in order to be able to focus and to get the most out of your classes, to be in a distraction-free learning environment. So try to be somewhere a little bit quieter. If you have a quiet spot, a desk in your house, that you have a good spot to where you're not going to be distracted, that would be the best place to do your classes. And then also make sure to treat others with courtesy, fairness, and respect, respecting the property, and then engaging and participating in class. That's very important. Using your camera and your microphone to participate in class. Also following the school's procedures, and attending class as required. Completing your assignments on time. It's very important, because if you don't complete your assignments on time, that will negatively impact your grades, and you definitely don't want that. So you need to turn in your assignments by the due date. Also, be your own advocate. If you have any questions about an assignment, or if you're struggling with anything, please let your teacher know, because they're here to help you, and we want to make sure that you are getting what you need in your classes. And as Dr. Taylor did say earlier, we do have a great tutoring program called Tutor Me, and we highly encourage everybody to use this program if they ever need some extra help in a subject. It's a great resource for you to use. And again, you're going to find that through Clever. So when you log in to your student account and you go to Clever, you're going to see Tutor Me, and it will be it's very simple to go in and request a tutor. Also, model integrity and work ethics. So making sure that you're, that when you do your work, it's your work that you're turning in, and making sure that you're working hard and doing everything you can on your assignments. Asynchronous day expectations. So here at GCA, we do have days that we call asynchronous days, or async days. And on those days, you still do have school. So they may not be like a live session where you're going to be with the teacher live on that day, but the teacher will record lessons, will give you assignments, and you will be expected to do those assignments. So it's not a free day. It's still a day where you're going to be working, but you may not have a live class on those days. So your teachers are definitely going to send you important information about these days in advance. We just wanted to give you a little bit of information so that you knew what to expect for asynchronous days. So making sure that you're viewing all those recordings that teachers make for you on those days, completing your assignments, and then ask your teacher if you have questions. How do you access the recordings? You log into Canvas like you normally do. You go to your courses tab, you choose that course content, and then click on Jigsaw. Excuse me. To access the recorded lesson in Jigsaw, there's going to be a little tab at the top, and it says recorded. So you're going to go in and you're going to find all of your recordings there, and that's where you can find any class recording that your teachers have made for you. It's also important to note that on these days, learning coaches, legal guardians are expected to enter attendance in Nucleus. So it's making, very important that you have your Nucleus account ready to go so that you are able to put in attendance and for your student during any time where they may not be attending live classes, whether it be because of testing or because of an asynchronous day. So setting up your Nucleus account. What is Nucleus? Nucleus is the online application used for your student that you use for your student. And you as a parent, as a learning coach or a legal guardian, you are going to enter their attendance, check for any missing class sessions, and then update, everything is updated in Nucleus. So you're going to be able to check all that and look at it in Nucleus. So adding additional work time in Nucleus, though, will not take the place of missing a required live Jigsaw class session. Time has to be entered for those testing weeks so that you do not get unexcused absences. And who should you contact about your attendance questions? That would be your attendance specialist. So you should have gotten an email, or you will be getting one shortly, about who, introducing themselves. They are your attendance specialist, and they will answer all your attendance related questions. If you have any questions about it, and if you have any questions about attendance, they do have live help sessions, and we're going to talk about that in just a couple minutes. And attendance specialists can be contacted via email or through your Nucleus account. And if a student is absent, it's important that you contact, your attendance specialist to submit any required documentation to make sure that, your student will have an excused absence for that class. Students with an IEP. So if your student receives special education services and has an IEP, an individualized education program, we will meet with the parent, the legal guardian, the learning coach. So someone from the school will meet with the required team members and the student where applicable for an intake meeting. So it's important that all special education related documents are sent to special education records at georgiacyber.org right here on the screen, the email address on the screen. And I do want to say that we do have a copy of this presentation in I'll have to put a link to it here, but you can reach a copy of this presentation from, and all of our presentations there's always going to be, anytime we do have a parent meeting, all that will always afterward be put on the parent calendar. But I will get you a link for this presentation so that you're able to get the presentation. Okay, and so as far as questions about interpreters, afterward, if you would give me, I'll give you my email address. That way we can get your question answered, any individual questions answered, and you can send me your information, and we can get more information about interpreters. Okay, so we're going to make sure also that it's important to get all of your records to this email address, and then that way an intake meeting can be held, and parent, guardians, legal guardian, and learning coaches will receive an invite for this meeting via email. So our meetings are held in Zoom, and it's important that they're accessed from a non-student device. If you have any concerns, please reach out to the case manager. And these meetings will be, it's important to attend them so that they can review the most recent IEP modifications and courses. And then afterward, the student schedule may be updated. So who does what around here? We have a lot of support here at GCA for our students, and your student will have a homeroom teacher, and they will do their MAP and IA testing. They will meet with students daily. They will, they're a friendly face. for your students to ask any general questions, and also update. They'll also have updates on anything that important events at the school, and help your student plan for success here. We have a family engagement liaison. They help students log into Canvas and support parents and facilitate communication, facilitate strong start and stay strong, collect signatures and assist with compliance, reinforce school expectations and processes. And then we also have a counselor, and the counselor, it's important to note that they create a schedule and outlines expectations for graduation and the only authority on grade level placement and credits. So the other thing we've got is career and college planning, creating the individual learning plan, and providing social and emotional support to students. And then your FSPCs, that would be me and my team here. We send, secondary grade newsletters. We send newsletters to the school. We have new family welcome sessions, and we facilitate new and returning family orientations and parent meetings, district town halls, like we will have tonight. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Okay, so getting connected. Students have a lot of opportunities here at GCA to be connected. We have student clubs and honor societies. We have, ways for students to pursue their interests and passions here outside of the classroom. And there are a lot of great opportunities we'll talk about in just a few minutes also, because we have clubs that are led and moderated by GCA faculty and staff members. And then, who mentor and guide student participants. We have virtual innings. You can join our community partnership team, as they offer both social and enrichment opportunities virtually and in the comfort of your home. So we have a lot of great opportunities that you can also participate from home or out in the community. And then we have PTSO, which is a great opportunity for parents to become involved. And we have volunteer opportunities, fundraising to assist with school-related programs. And then we also have the Parent Advisory Council for parents to be positive ambassadors here at GCA. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities, and you will hear from us. We will be sending out newsletters with more information about the opportunities you have here at GCA. School contact best practices. It's very important that that you contact if you have any questions or you have any issues, that you do contact. If it's in a particular class, you can contact that teacher. Email is probably the best way to follow up with a teacher, and they are teaching class, so you can definitely still call, but it would probably be best to send them an email, because they're going to be teaching for most of the day. So they're in classes until 3:30. And so if you do leave a voicemail, it may take them a little while to get back to you, because they are going to be in class teaching. But if you send an email, if you send an email with the specific information about what you need, they may be able to find that information and get back to you fairly quickly, depending on what it is that you need. So I've got the phone number here on the screen. It's 404-334-4790, extension 6 if you need it. But and teachers will also be providing you with their email addresses, and you can email them directly in Canvas. So that's another great way to contact them. Here is a sample bell schedule. You will have 7 periods per day, 1 hour for lunch. You're going to have credit recovery and other interventions and supports built directly into a student schedule. So if your student is to need those interventions or supports, those would be built into the schedule. And then homeroom is a requirement for all students, and it's important. They're going to get very important information in homeroom, and also career and course planning with their counselor. So here is the daily class schedule. I'll give you a minute to look at it, but As you can see, everybody has lunch from 11:56 to 12:56. And then classes run from 8 in the morning, and the seventh period ends at 3:35. So you can view your student schedule in their Canvas account or on Infinite Campus. So be sure to make sure your student follows their schedule each school day. It's really important. And also make sure that your student schedule is driven by the transcripts received from your previous school. So if your student, if you know that you have transcripts that you need to give to GCA, please please get those transcripts in, and then also contact your counselor for any schedule change requests. And to access you can access the GCA website for Infinite Campus login and use instructions as well. The GCA counseling directory. So, it's going to be a very important resource is the counseling directory. So I'm going to put the link for this presentation in at the end in the chat, and then you will be able to access this presentation. And I'll also be emailing it out with the recording of this session. So that way you can have the presentation and the recording if you need to go back and find any important information. Department calendars on our website. We have all of our calendars with lots of important dates and information. So it's important that you check that out as well on our GCA website, and then you go to calendars. It's important to log into Canvas or into Clever first, and then Canvas, then Jigsaw. That ensures that your attendance will be counted accurately. So when you open up your computer, the first thing you do is you go into Clever, then you click on Canvas. Once you're in Canvas, you can click on the individual courses and go to Jigsaw. Okay, so now we are going to talk about student leadership and service clubs. GCA has many great opportunities for students to participate. We have Michelle Gilliard here. And Michelle, would you like to discuss some of our student leadership and service clubs?
Hello to our fabulous GCA secondary grade families. It is so exciting to see you guys today. I don't have my background on because for some reason, whenever I do turn it on, it flashes in the back when I'm in Jigsaw. It's probably my network connection. And I don't want to set anyone off. So my apologies for not having on my background. But yes, student leadership and service clubs. We have them all here at Georgia Cyber Academy, a lot of them, I guess I should say. GCA Student Council, the elections, because that is the student body advisory that are elected by their peers, and that will happen in mid-October. Those will come out. Students will perform nominations. We will also have an election for access to student council. Student advisory council, those invites were sent out, actually went out last week. I sent those out a little bit early, and that closes on tomorrow. So you should have already received an invite for student advisory council. The difference between student council and student advisory council students give the schools feedback on specific things at certain times of the year. So when we're doing testing, we may ask the students about our processes and procedures related to testing. School culture, again, it really just depends on the time of year for student advisory council, the type of questions they get. Beta registrations and invitations will be sent out in early October. NHS is by invitation only. Those will also go out mid-October. National Technical Honor Society, that one is invitation only. There's a GPA requirement for all of these clubs. One of the caveats with NTHS is the student must have also completed 3 CTAE pathways. So if you don't see an invitation come to your student by mid-October, please reach out. You can send me an email. It's on the slide. If you think your student meets those criteria, media, we can take a look at it and see. National Spanish Honor Society, that is also invitation only. Those will start going out around mid-October. FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America, and I always do this caveat with FBLA, it's not just business office, it is every American enterprise for FBLA. So there's a lot of crossover. You will see some crossover between some of the other clubs that we offer here at Georgia Cyber Academy with FBLA. DECA, again, registrations, invitations will go out early October. We have also added, as you can see from the little screenshot, FCCLA, that is for more of your service positions, things like cosmetologists and teachers. We also added TSA, Technology Student Association. That one, when you think about the difference between that and NTHS, one, there's a lower GPA requirement, so it's 2.5 versus 3.0. And another one is that they specifically target in on a lot of STEM and robotics types programs with their competitions. We will be having a Student Services and Leadership Club open house on August the 24th, which will be manned by our students and a couple of our teacher advisors. To give you more information on those clubs, please look for that newsletter to be sent out early next week. And I'll turn it right back over to Miss Jenny Lansing.
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, what we're going to talk about next is Learning Coach Live Help. So Learning Coach Live Help is a great opportunity for parents, learning coaches. If you have any questions about, your students' classes or any general questions, we will be there. We'll be there tomorrow from 12 to 1, and then our schedule changes. So from July 25th through August 12th, we're there Monday through Friday from 12 to 1. And then starting August 15th through August 19th, or through October the 19th, it's Monday through Wednesday from 12 to 1. So you'll be able to join us at Learning Coach Live Help. And to find that, you will look at our parent calendar. I put in the noteboard, the group noteboard, a link to our parent calendar. You will just make sure to click on the day that that you're looking for, and then it will have a link to our Learning Coach Live Help session. So if you look in the group noteboard, you can see that. Our link is in there for the parent calendar, where you're going to be able to find those Learning Coach Live Help sessions. And then also we have, I put in the group noteboard the links to the presentation for today so that you can find the presentation and access any of the links that we've put in our presentation. And then also there's a link to the counseling website at GCA's website. If you need help with attendance, if you need help with Nucleus, please attend Nucleus Live Help, and we have the dates on the screen for that, July 25th through August 12th, Monday through Friday, 12 to 12:45, and then August 15th through March 29th. We have Monday through Wednesday from 12 to 12:45. So you will be able to find those links in your Jigsaw. So they should appear in your Jigsaw, your student's Jigsaw session, or as an observer, you should also be able to see those sessions in your Jigsaw. So some upcoming meetings. So today, August 11th, we do have a district town hall meeting from 6 to 7:30, where you will be able to get some information from our schools. There will be a question and answer session if you have any questions, and that will be tonight from 6 to 7:30. We hope to see you there. There's also an advanced and gifted parent meeting if you're interested in our advanced and gifted program. So it will be August the 16th at 6 p.m. and you'll be able to get more information. We also will be sending out a recording, and we'll be sending out the presentations as, or we having the presentations as well on the parent calendar after the meeting if you're not able to attend. We also have a copyright piracy and literacy training, which is a very important meeting that we do discussing tips on the harms of copyright piracy. That will be September the 8th from 6 to 7:30. And then we have our GCA secondary grades curriculum night, September the 1st from 6 to 7:30, where we will have our principals, assistant principals, teachers, and support staff here to talk about standards, assessments, monitoring progress, and working with educators. So you can also get the link to that on our parent calendar, as you can with all of these parent meetings that we've been discussing. If you look in the group note board, we have our parent calendar where you can find the links to all of these meetings. Parent meeting and parent university as well. Our first one is going to be September the 13th. So we hope you'll be able to join us for that. And if you're not, we will be sending out a recording, but we hope you're able to attend live. And those links will be on our parent calendar as well. Our secondary grades clubs open house also will be coming up, and you'll be getting more information. So this concludes our presentation. So thank you so much for coming, and on behalf of your secondary grade staff, we're looking forward to a great year with you. We appreciate you, coming, and we hope that your year is awesome. So let me go ahead and stop the recording, and then if anyone has any questions, we can answer your questions.